Okay, so it's just on 10 o'clock. If you would, or you can choose whether you'd like to lie down or stay seated this morning. So please just take a few moments to arrive and to decide how you'd like to start your practice. You might like to close the eyes, soften the shoulders, the skin of the face. And you might begin by saying to yourselves as you breathe in, just this. And as you breathe out, here, now. Just this. Here, now. So taking these first few moments to settle into the here and now. And you might like to begin to imagine that you can breathe in from all directions. So draw the breath in from in front of you, from behind you, from below you, from above, from the left and right. So breathe in from all directions and breathe out in all directions. So drawing the breath in from in front of you, behind, from the left, the right, above and below. Draw it all into the center of you and breathe out in all directions. Good morning, Naomi. So just work with this a few more times. And as you work with the breath, noticing the effect the breath has on you as you inhale, the feeling that gives you, and as you exhale. So allow yourself to be really interested in your breath. How does it feel to take in, to be fed, to be nurtured, to be energized? How does it feel to release, to let go, give back? And then just relax the breath. And I invite you to contemplate the question now, what brings me joy? What makes me feel alive? What brings me joy? There are plenty of things in our world right now to worry about, to feel anxious or fearful about. And there might be things that you're concerned about in relation to your own health or a loved one's health, whether physical, mental, or emotional. Yet at some point, it's important to endeavor to put aside our worries, even momentarily, put aside our fears, our concerns, our doubts, and choose to connect with that which is joyful, bright, luminous, beautiful, and inspiring. In other words, with that which makes our heart sing. Might be a very small thing, watching a bird flying in the sky, gazing at the sun setting, or watching water flowing, having a cup of tea with a friend, playing an instrument or listening to a beautiful piece of music. Something that uplifts your spirits, even for a moment. I'm reminded here of a famous quote by the African-American civil rights leader, Howard Thurman. Don't worry about what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. In yoga, we can feel appreciation for being alive in this very moment. We can have a rest from the past and the future, from mental baggage we may be carrying, including things like regrets from the past or concerns about the future. Instead, we can settle for the present and discover the spacious sense of joy, freedom, and contentment that is available to us in every moment. So as we practice together this morning, I invite you to contemplate the question, what makes me feel alive? What brings me joy? And can I allow myself to do those things or experience those things? Our breath brings us to life. And we know there's no yoga without the breath. So we're going to begin with a pranayama practice this morning in a semi-supine position. So if you're seated, I invite you now to come to lie down on your mat. Just make sure that your spine is in alignment. And I'll come back to meet you now. So we're going to work with Viloma Pranayama, a bit of a favorite breathing practice of mine, but we don't do it very often. Viloma can be understood or translated as interrupted or in stages. So we're going to be breaking the breath into parts. And we're going to begin with the first stage of the practice, which is to interrupt the inhalations. So we'll have a normal exhale, and we're going to be breaking the inhalation into two parts. So feet are hip width, tuck the chin forward, have your arms down alongside you, and let's begin by exhaling all breath. So we're going to breathe in 50% of the way and take the arms up. So your fingers are pointing towards the sky, and then we have a little pause. And then we inhale, taking the arms all the way overhead, filling the lungs completely. A little pause, press the lower back down. And when you need to, exhale the arms all the way down. No interruption here. So we're breathing in 50% of the way. Fingers are pointing up towards the sky. We pause. Continue. Take the arms all the way overhead, pausing full. Tuck the chin forward. And when you need to, a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. Let's do 3 more of these. You can go at your own pace. Just allowing the exhalation to flow. And 1 more. Just when you finish, have a little pause there, a breath or two. So now we're going to try to break the inhalation into 3 parts. So we'll breathe about 30% of the lung capacity, pause, and then continuing on from there. So exhale all breath. And then when you're ready, as you breathe in, 30% of the way and pause. Another 30% of the way and pause. Taking the arms all the way overhead, pausing full, press the lower back down. And when you need to, a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. Keep the face relaxed, no tension in the mouth. So again, breathe in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely filling the lungs and pause. And a long, smooth exhalation. Not trying too hard, no strain. And again, breathe in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. Keep going, completely filling the lungs, pause full. And let it all go as you exhale. Let's do 2 more of these, so go at your own pace. So generally we can work with this breath when we want to wake ourselves up, when we need to energize, if we're feeling a bit low in energy. So it's a stimulating breath. Now, when you finish this one, again, just relax there, check in. And then we're going to move to the second stage of this practice, which is to interrupt the exhalation. So we're going to have a normal inhale, and we'll break the exhalation, first of all, into 2 parts. So let's exhale all breath. And when you're ready, inhale, take the arms all the way up overhead, no interruption, little pause. Exhale 50% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs and pause. So a normal uninterrupted inhalation. Take the arms all the way overhead, tuck the chin forward. Exhale 50% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs, pause. Okay, so 3 more of these. And 1 more. Have a little pause, have a little rest there when you finish that last one. And finally, we're going to interrupt the exhalation into 3 parts. So when you're ready, exhale all breath. And then breathe your arms all the way overhead. Tuck the chin forward. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Exhale another 30, pause. Completely emptying the lungs and pause. Breathing in, arms lift up and overhead. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. And all the way down, pausing, empty. Okay, 3 more of these. And make sure that you're not trying too hard, that you're not running short of breath. And not starting to tense the face, the jaws, the muscles around the mouth. 1 more. When you finish, take a breath or two, check in. How do you feel? So when we interrupt the exhalation, it tends to have more of a relaxing, calming effect, helping us to slow down and quieten. All right, let's keep working with Viloma, but now add bridge, Setu Bandhasana. So first of all, we'll interrupt the inhalations in 3 parts. So exhale all breath. And then when you're ready, inhale. So lift up about 30% of the way, pause. Inhale another 30. Arms are lifting as well, pause. Inhale, completely filling the lungs, arms up and overhead. And a normal, uninterrupted exhalation, arms flowing back down by your side. So breathe in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. Completely filling the lungs, pause full. And a normal, uninterrupted exhalation. Let's do 3 more of these. When you finish the last one, pause for a breath or 2. And then we're going to do the second stage of Viloma, interrupting our exhalations with bridge. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in. So lifting up into bridge, arms flow up and overhead. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs and pause. Inhale, lifting up into bridge. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. And completely emptying the lungs, pause. Okay, 3 more. In your own time with your own breath. And last one. When you finish, take a breath or 2. You might like to sigh it away. Okay, let's work with a twist now. So you can either keep the feet on the mat for a gentler option or feet in the air, arms out to shoulder height, palms facing up or down. So just again, check the alignment of your spine. Feet might be together if they're on the mat or hip width apart or in the air. Let's take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we're lowering the knees over to the right side. Now we're going to hold the twist. You may turn your head to look towards your left fingers. Try to relax that left shoulder, relax the right shoulder, the right arm as well. Softening the skin of the face and just breathing here. Allowing the breath to flow in and flow out. Good. On your next inhalation, return everything to center. Realign your spine if need be. And then knees over to the left side. Head may turn to the right. And we soften here. Let the breath flow. Good. Now gently come back to center. We're going to do that again. So as you exhale, knees to the right, head to the left. And just watching the tendency of the mind to wander when we hold these poses, and keep directing your awareness back to the breath again and again. Anchoring your awareness in the here and now. Good. Gently come back to center. Last time. Knees over to the left and head to the right. Good. And come back to center. Draw your knees into the chest. Give yourselves a lovely hug. Inhale, take the legs up to the sky, arms overhead or out to the side. Chin tucks forward. And as you exhale, draw the knees in, perhaps lifting your head to the knees. Breathe in, legs up. And exhale, draw in. And again. Now this next one, we're going to keep the legs in the air. Breathe in, push the heels up. And as you exhale, just bring your hands down and place them under the buttocks. So just rock from side to side. So you can place them underneath. And we're going to do some leg lowering. So feet are together. We're pushing the heels up. So the toes are turned back towards us. Deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we're going to lower just the right leg down. Keep pushing the left heel up and the right heel can hover off the floor. Breathe that right leg back up and lower the left leg down nice and slowly, pushing the right heel up to the sky. Inhale, left leg lifts. Let's keep alternating. Exhale, right leg lowers. Inhale, lift it up. And left leg lowers. Now you can continue with this or we're going to lower 2 legs at a time. Breathe that left leg up. So if you'd like to, both legs lowering down now as slowly as you can. Heels can hover or just 1 leg at a time. Inhale, lift them up. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, either 1 leg down or both. Trying to keep the legs straight and the chin tucking forward. Inhale, lift them up. 2 more. When you finish the last one, again, draw the knees in, release your hands, cross the legs at the ankles, a hand on each knee, and let's make some nice little circles on the floor with our lower back. Good. And cross the legs the other way, circling in the opposite direction. And let's roll over to one side and make our way around into extended child. So arms extending forward, big toes touching, and connecting with your breath. So in a moment, we're going to come back to Viloma Pranayam, interrupting the inhalations into 3 parts as we, in a moment, move into cat and then back into child. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in 30% of the way as you start to lift, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely filling the lungs, pause full. And a long, slow, uninterrupted exhalation. So breathing in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely filling the lungs. And exhaling. So you go at your own pace. We'll do 3 more of these. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever you feel comfortable with. So when we're focusing on our breath, concentrating on our breath, it's impossible to be in the past or in the future. We are fully in this moment. Now, when you finish that last one, just rest in child for a breath or 2. Check in with yourself. And then we're going to work with the second part, the second stage, interrupting our exhalations. So when you're ready, inhale, come all the way up into cat. And then exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs, pause. And then a normal, uninterrupted inhalation. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs and pause. Let's do 3 more. You might already be getting a feel for what you need today, whether it's better for you to be working with interrupted inhalations to fill you with more energy, help you feel more alive and awake and alert, or whether it's best for you to be working with interrupting the exhalations to relax, to slow down, to feel a little calmer and quieter internally. Last one. When you finish, rest in child for a breath or 2. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift up into down face dog pose and hold. So you can come up onto your knees, tuck your toes into our beautiful dog. If you like, you can bend one leg and then the other. Spread the fingers wide. You might make a few yes and no movements with your head. Pushing the mat forward with our hands and with our feet pushing the mat back behind us. So trying to stretch the mat in opposite directions. And breathe. Good. 2 or 3 more breaths here if you're happy. Otherwise, at any point, you know you can come down and rest in child. And then when you've had a little rest in child, we'll come up onto the knees into a high kneel to work with circle of joy. So when you're ready, you can bring the hands together at the heart space, lengthening up through the crown top, softening your shoulders, softening the skin of the face. So let's breathe in, interlace the fingers, raise the elbows, and exhale, round the back. Inhale, arms lift up, and exhale, interlacing the fingers behind us. Breathe into the heart, pull the arms down, and then lift the arms up. Inhale, bring the palms back to touch, and exhale. So 2 more. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift the arms up. Last one, bring the opposite index finger in front. Again, opposite index finger in front behind you. Breathe into the heart and lift the arms. Good. Okay, thought we'd have a go at doing dolphin today, but if dolphin's a bit strong for you, you can always do down face dog pose again instead. And from dolphin, we might move into low plank. Or if you're in down face dog pose, high plank. That's an option depending on your shoulders and wrists. So either making your way up into dog when you're ready, or you can come along with me, interlacing the fingers, making our tripod with our forearms, tucking the toes and lifting up. So you might just prefer to stay in dolphin and keep lifting the shoulders up into the back, away from your ears. Head is hanging in the air rather than resting on the mat. Breathing here. Those of you who'd like to transition into low plank, you just slide or step the feet back and bring the body in a nice straight line. You might hold this for a few breaths and then transition back into dolphin. So just play around with these poses. If you're in dog, you might move into plank and then back again, knowing that you can always rest in child when you've had enough. But otherwise, we'll work with this for another 30 seconds or so. Connecting with your breath, watching again the tendency of the mind to wander, to start thinking about what's happening later today or something that happened yesterday. Keep bringing it back to the 4 corners of your mat. So just another 10 seconds. And then making your way down into child pose if you're not already there. Take a little rest. Okay, let's extend the arms forward. On our next inhale, coming up onto the hands and the knees into cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Walking your feet up towards your hands. Might have a little bend in the legs as the arms go up behind you into bird. And then breathe in, come all the way up to stand. And exhale your arms by your side, Tadasana. So let's work with this a few times. Breathe in, raise the arms up. Exhale into bird. Lower your hands to the mat, step back into dog. Inhale down into cat and child. Inhale cat. Down face dog pose. Walk forward into bird. Breathe in, standing tall and arms by your side. Again. Drop your hands to the mat, step back into dog. Lowering down into cat and child. Inhale cat. Down face dog pose. Walk forward, arms up behind. Inhale, come up. This time bring your palms together and bring your hands down to your heart and take a breath or two here. Okay, let's do a little bit of bouncing. So feet hip distance apart, little bend in the legs, and as you're ready, just starting to bounce and shake and flick the fingers, and perhaps swaying from side to side. Letting anything that's preventing you from feeling alive drain out of the body. Let it drain down through the body, through the legs, to be absorbed back into the earth beneath you. Anything that might be preventing your heart from singing, from feeling joy, experiencing joy. Let this stuff go. Good. And then just slow that down and come back to center. And we're going to tap the body all over, just to help us feel very much more awake and alive and alert. So come down to the top of the left foot and just start to tap, even under the foot, your ankle, calf and shin, to your knee and your thigh, all around, up to your left hip and the buttock, lower back, and the abdomen on the left side, the mid-rib cage and the chest, and shoulder, upper back, armpit, all the way down this arm, down to the wrist and the hand, both sides of the hand. And back up just lightly now over your neck on the left side, the jaw, the cheek, the ear, temple, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and the side. And then we'll swap over, right side of the head, top, back, forehead, temple, ear, cheek, jaw, the neck, upper back, shoulder, armpit, and all the way down this right arm. Your wrist, hand and fingers, coming up to the chest, mid-rib cage area, the abdomen, the hip, buttock, lower back, and down this thigh to your knee, the calf and the shin, and the top of the foot, and even under the foot. Good. And then come up again into Tadasana, palms facing forward, roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in and side away. And just feel your aliveness now, the tingling. Now turn the sides of the mouth up slightly. Connecting with your breath. So let's come back to Viloma Pranayama now as we move just with a simple arm movement. So first of all, we'll interrupt the inhalation in 3 parts. So exhale all breath. And then breathing in 30% of the way and pause. Inhale another 30% of the way, pause. Inhale, the arms all the way up overhead, pause full, press down through the feet. And then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. So breathe in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. Completely filling the lungs, pause full. And exhale, slowly lowering the arms. Let's do 3 more. Let's go at your own pace. Keep the face soft. Listening to the sound of your breath. Last one. Take a moment there when you finish just to check in with yourself, standing quietly. So now we'll interrupt our exhalations in 3 parts. So when you're ready, a long, smooth, uninterrupted inhalation, arms lift up and overhead. And then exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs and pause. So normal, uninterrupted inhalation. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. All the way, pause. 3 more. Again, just feeling which of these is resonating more with you this morning to interrupt your inhalations or your exhalations. What do you need this morning? No right, no wrong. And last one. When you finish, relax. You might sigh the breath away. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of squatting. So first one, we're going to have the feet together. and hold on to the opposite elbow. And we're going to do 21 little squats. So you can just count to yourself quite fast. When we finish the 21, just release the hands and we take our feet hip width apart. Again, holding onto your opposite elbow. This time we're doing 14, a little slower. Trying to keep the spine as upright as possible. Shoulders relaxing, face soft. And when you finish, just relax the arms and legs wide, toes turned out. Holding onto the opposite elbow. This time we're doing 7, again, a little slower. Let it all go. Good work. All right, we're going to do another squat with an arm movement this time. I think you all know this one really well. So legs are wide, arms by our side. Relax your shoulders. Exhale all breath. When you're ready, breathe in. Raise the arms above the head. And as we breathe out, we come into our squat. Hands come to the heart. We pause. Nice tall spine. Staying in the squat, we raise the arms up and exhale. So let's do 4 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Raising the arms up and exhale. Let's keep going. And 1 more. Good. Beautiful. Release your legs, come to the backs of your mats. And we're going to work with a warrior 1. We're going to do it twice, Virabhadrasana 1. So we want to take a giant step forward with our right leg. Hips are square, left toes are facing forward as well. And we're pushing back into the outer edge of the left foot and heel. So trying to keep this left leg as straight as we can, opening the back of the left knee. Hands can stay on the hips if there are any shoulder issues. Otherwise, we're going to be raising the arms overhead. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathe in, take the arms up. So they can either be shoulder width or palms together, crossing your thumbs. As we exhale, we're bending the right leg. looking forward, tucking the chin in a little, or some of you might like to look up if that's okay for your neck and you don't have high blood pressure. So let's hold this pose. And as we're working with it, thinking that our intention with this pose is to develop the courage of a warrior, to pursue, to have the determination to pursue that which makes us feel alive, that which fills our heart with joy, that allows our heart to sing. So the courage to pursue those things, to move towards those things that bring us joy. The breath is flowing, strong breath, the warrior breath. Good. And then inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, lower your arms. So we'll go into it a second time. When you're ready, breathe in, raise the arms, and exhale, bend the front leg, pushing back into the outer edge of the left foot. Face soft, not clenching the teeth, tucking the chin in a little if you're looking forward. Otherwise, you might be looking up. Breathe into your heart. Keep lifting the heart. Good. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, and exhale, lower your arms and step your feet together. Give them a bit of a shake. All right, so the other side, left leg forward, hips are square. Working to straighten this right leg, open the back of the right knee. You can keep your hands down on the hips, otherwise just relax your arms. Breathe in, raise the arms. If you're crossing the thumbs, opposite thumb on top this time. Exhale, bend the left leg. Tucking the chin in a little or choosing to look up. And we're holding. Breathing into the heart space, lift the heart. Determined to pursue that which brings you joy, that makes you feel alive, that allows your heart to sing. Good. Inhale, straighten the front leg, and exhale, release your arms. And once again, breathe in, raise the arms, and breathe out. Good. And inhale, straighten the front leg and release your arms. Step your feet together, walk it out. Okay, one last movement standing before we come back to our mats. Feet just a comfortable distance apart for the Tibetan yoga breath. And I invite you to choose now whether you want to interrupt the inhalations or the exhalations. So whatever you need in this moment is perfect for you, so follow that. So let's turn to look towards the left. So either interrupting your inhalation in 3 parts or the exhalation. Exhale. And then breathing in, you can begin. Keep going. Do one more to each side, so one full round. When you finish, come back to center and take a breath. Okay, let's come down to our mats. We're going to do a couple of rounds of kneeling Surya Namaskar, salute to the sun. So you're either in a high kneel like I am or kneeling down low. Exhale all breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Back into cat and child. Sliding along the floor, coming through into Bhujangasana, cobra. And back. Inhale, come up. Exhale. And one more. To cat and down face dog pose. Back into cat and child. Coming through into Bhujangasana. And back. Inhale, come up. And exhale and pause, softening your shoulders. Sigh the breath away. So I'd like to invite you now to choose your favorite forward bend to work with before we go into guided relaxation this morning. So lots of options: child pose, cross-legged like I am, Paschimottanasana, legs wide, Janushirasana. So if you're doing a forward bend that has two sides where you're going to have to change the leg position, stay for 5 breaths on the first side, then come up, change, and go forward. So about 10 breaths in all. When you're ready, you can take a deep breath in. You might raise the arms up overhead. Stretch up tall and then exhale and gently fold forward. You might close the eyes and just soften the shoulders, soften the upper back, soften the face. After around 5 breaths, if you need to, you'll come up, change your leg position, otherwise just stay as you are. Again, you might raise the arms up overhead and fold forward. And very slowly inhale and make your way up into a sitting position. And exhale. If you need to, you can give the knees a bit of a rub or the legs a bit of a shake. And then when you're ready, we'll come to lie down for a guided relaxation. Grab any support you need. Make sure that you are warm enough. And as you lie down, you might say to yourselves a few times, just this, here, now. Just this, here, now. I invite you to visualize yourself now entering a place in nature that is restful and joyful for you. It might be a real place, a place you've only visited once, or it might be a place in your imagination. Wherever you find yourself, see and sense yourself becoming part of the environment and part of the rhythm of the environment. Perhaps you are in the bush, in a forest, or on a mountain. Enjoy being immersed in greenery. Enjoy the fresh, clean air, the sounds of nature, the smells. Or perhaps you are on a beach, lying on beautiful golden sand, the sand sifting through your fingers. Perhaps there's a bright golden sun above you, shining down on you, warming you, fresh ocean air, and waves lapping on the shore. Find yourself coming into harmony with your environment and enjoy being in this place that feeds your soul, that nourishes you deeply, replenishes you. After a little while, you notice some clouds drifting overhead. The sun moves behind the clouds and a little rain begins to fall. Not too much, not enough for you to need an umbrella or raincoat, just a light shower. If anything, the rain feels cleansing, and you happily allow it to wash away your worries, your concerns, your doubts, your baggage. And then you look up into the sky and see the most magnificent rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So bright, so light, so beautiful. You marvel at the wonder and glory of nature, the colors of nature. And then you visualize the rainbow moving closer towards you. And then you allow yourself to swallow the rainbow in one giant gulp. You take these healing colors into your very being. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And you allow these colors to begin spreading their magic from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. As you allow these colors to wash through you, to swirl through you, I'd like to share with you a beautiful passage from Araya Mountain Dreamer from her book, The Invitation. Tell me about a moment of joy in your life. Were you able to let it renew your heart, rekindle your ability to live fully? When did you last laugh until your sides ached? Do you dare to lose control and let the joy carry you? Joy, real joy that does not deny what is hard in our lives is a choice. Joy finds us when we feel the elation that comes when we know that we belong to another, to ourselves, to the world, to the mystery that is larger than ourselves. Why is it often hard for us to choose joy, even in moments when there are no painful circumstances in our lives? Sometimes I think we simply do not know how. Many of our secular rituals of celebration and relaxation involve moving away from being with what is, numbing out, if only a little, with drugs or alcohol. As one of my students once said, we don't seem to know very much about how to lighten up without numbing out. Music and dance are obvious exceptions to this, but in our culture, we are too often only spectators and not participants in creating and moving to the sound of celebration. I have discovered pleasure in doing things I will never do well. I play the piano very badly without hope of ever playing well. I play because it helps me lighten up without numbing out, stops me from taking myself too seriously, and reminds me that there is joy in what I do well and what I do badly. Those I choose to be with intimately are those who can appreciate the joy of both. We are so frightened of the pain of disappointment that we often pick at what is new and hopeful, anticipating flaws or failures, robbing ourselves of the joy that lifts our spirits. The enemy of joy is the litany of not good enough that picks at what is or what might be, finding the imperfections, real or imagined. To feel joy, we have to trust the moment and welcome it in its fullness for what it is. We have to be willing to acknowledge that we are often not in control and to celebrate the good fortune in this. And we have to feel worthy of having joy in our lives. So feel free to remain lying down as you are if you're comfortable here. Those of you ready to move on into the rest of your day, I invite you now to just start to deepen the breath. And bring a little movement into your fingers and your toes. You might like to have a bit of a stretch. And then you can carefully roll over to one side and make your way up into a comfortable seated position. So we'll close our practice this morning with one Om. If you'd like to join me, bring the hands together at the heart space. And exhale all breath. Breathing in. Ooh. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Lots of love.